Hello, Gotta Love Connecticut Hockey at Home fans. We're back again with Matt and Mackenzie to talk about goalies. And this time, we're going to take a little different twist on it. As players, skaters, as coaches, how do we interact with goalies to make them feel like they're integrated with all that's going on with the team, and that we're respecting the space that they may need to do the things that they've got to do to get ready.
One of the things we have to get through to our coaches is that the old idea of goalies being some strange religion that no one understands and they're just kind of out there on their own is gone. They're still athletes. They still want to go out and compete. They still want to have fun with their friends. They still want to win hockey games. So our job is to make sure that they're involved in as many things as possible. Whether it's explaining drills, whether it's a player needs to be picked up, it doesn't matter if that's a goalie or your center or your forward. You want to make sure that you're treating them exactly the same. They're still learning the skills of this game, so there are going to be mistakes along the way. We just want to make sure that our coaches understand that they're there as a support system, just like you would for everybody else that's on the team.
For me, I don't know if players necessarily, like all players on a team, single out a goalie on purpose. I think it just happens by way of like the goalie's in the crease, everybody else is lined up for the drill. So I think sometimes goalies can feel a little bit left out like that. So I think sometimes it's not always a bad thing for players to like go up to their goalie in practice and like tap the pads and kind of joke around with them a little bit. Maybe be like, hey, I'm going to score on you next time, kind of create that friendly banter back and forth that players seem to get in line waiting for reps and drills, where goalies don't, as they're normally alone in the crease.
How about, before games, is there anything special, goalies need to do or should be doing, or that players should be conscious of to help them get ready for a game?
It depends a lot on the individual athlete. I've seen everything from goalies that don't want to hear a single word from another person for the entire pregame, or goalies who just kind of look like they're one of the guys out there hanging out with the boys, kicking the soccer ball around. The one component that's really important to developing that routine is simply just their mentality and who they are as an athlete. If you have a kid who's very laid back, very comfortable, your coach should know that. Your coach should be able to tell that, this is a kid who needs to be included on things. Or if there's a kid who really, really needs to just settle down and find his own space, then, little things like organizing who sits where in the locker room. You put the quieter kids who want to kind of settle down and focus in the same area. Get the kids who want to be very vocal and get pumped up listening to music and talking to each other, you put them in another section of the locker room. You just want to let goalies kind of explore and figure out who they are, what allows them to best execute on game day.
How important is communications, not only for the goalies, but across the team?
I think communication is key. Again, with the goalies always being in the crease and not always coming back to the bench at games, it's easy to box them out a little bit. So I think just making sure that you're making the extra effort with your goalies to communicate sometimes goes a long, long way. And just realizing that while you may be communicating things with a large portion of your team because they're around you more often, there's one or two goalies on your team that tend to not always be around the coach as often. But I think sometimes as goalies, if you feel that you're being like left out, it's probably not on purpose. So like making sure that, like I always do this, making sure you're making an effort too to talk to your teammates and communicating with them. Because communication goes both ways. So you can't always be the one answering the phone. Sometimes you have to make the call.
So Matt, if you think back on your days in the net, is there any points that stand out, either positive or negative, relative to communications that maybe happened between you and your teammates?
One of the things I've noticed is a huge difference is just simply being a part of the game. I feel like back when I was growing up, like goaltending was just its own thing. It was like you were an artist while everyone else is working on mathematics, and you're just kind of that backdrop for whatever happens. You're there to do your thing. Nowadays, it's so integrated. They're going to have to be able to be integrated into a hockey system. Yes, their job at the end of the day is to make saves, is to stop pucks like it's always been. But goalies that are more engaged in the scenarios that are going on around them are going to be better at being able to not crack under pressure, because it's so natural for them to see what's going on in front. The brain processes things at a higher level. They're more important to your team's systems. They're more important than just a goalie who's out there and just battling really hard.
Great, guys. Well, I once again appreciate your thoughts and inputs on goalie communication with teammates, and hopefully we'll all be back out there soon. I know you guys got some summer camps lined up, so hopefully those will be running soon. And I know everybody's itching to get back out there, so I'm sure you're going to see lots of our Connecticut goalies once we get the go order. So thanks once again, and stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, Ken.